friends. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me, and if you're returning, I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading again. I'll be doing a twin flame reading for you guys. I'm tapped into 4 different sort of frequencies here in the twin flame connection. Now, if you don't resonate with the label so much, but know you're in a spiritual, soulful connection here, this could certainly still be your reading. Or you could be uncertain whether you're in a twin flame journey or with your twin flame here, and this could serve as some sort of confirmation if you're looking to tap into whatever frequencies I'm tapped into here. Okay, so 4 different piles, options, decks to choose from. Sometimes the messaging comes reversed, and there could be overlap in piles. Okay, I could pick up one divine feminine from one pile and a divine masculine in another pile, and they're pulled in 2 different sort of piles here, but you'll find your person or your energy somewhere in here. Okay, now the intention here is to get an overall sort of look at the connection, and then I'll be doing a Celtic cross, looking at the current situation to see if we can see what's going on a little deeper in the current sort of time frame that I'm tapped into here. Okay, now my readings are all timeless, so I do believe whenever you come across my video and you resonate, that the messaging is meant for you. Okay, but if this messaging sounds like old energy, it could be that you have another pile somewhere that's more tapped into current, and of course use your intuition as always. Okay, so 4 options, beautiful people. Option number 1, we have the Divina Tarot deck, which I just got and absolutely love. Option number 2, we have the Aquarian Tarot. I'm using all tiny decks so we can fit the Celtic cross in. Gorgeous. Option number 3, we have the Zillich Tarot. Beautiful watercolor paintings. And for option number 4, we have the just tarot cards, and this is the purple pack here. Very mystical. So, beautiful group, viewers. Take a look. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and the pinned comment below, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. You guys picked group number 1 with Divina Tarot deck. We'll be doing a Celtic cross, looking at your soulful connection. You might not resonate with the twin flame label so much, but you might resonate being in a soul connection here. So whatever your reasoning being, if this energy resonates for you, then this is your message, okay? But I will be reading it as a twin flame connection. We'll be looking at overall energy here, seeing what we see. If you don't resonate with this first part being either your energy, your connection, or your person's, then chances are the Celtic cross, looking at the situation going on right now, is most likely not your reading, okay? So you can go check out another pile, and then we'll be looking at some guidance as well. So let's get into it. We have Sanat Kumra with light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. We have I am filled with regret. And we have sunglasses. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. And we have divine creativity with 1010, receiving cosmic intelligence. And we have 55 with master alchemist, violet flame activation. You guys might want to look up some of these terminology if it's not familiar to you. I won't be going into a lot of that. I'll just be solely reading the energy here for those of you guys who are already well versed in your terminology here. Okay, surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And we have shapeshifter, light attributes, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. We have healing. We have karma, toxic story and new opportunities. We have Venus, Uranus with 34, or the number 7. So we have Taurus energy, Libra energy pulling through. Doesn't have to be your sun sign, Aquarius. Just the energy in this reading. And authenticity, number 10. The energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives with others as well as with ourselves. Okay, so I'm getting one energy only. This may or may not help you. I think it may be your energy, so you know whether to listen to this pile, because I don't know that you would know that this is your person so much. Okay, but I'm tapped into one energy here. So I don't know why it came this way, but I'll read what this is. And if you resonate, you might have a difficult time, because I think some of this might be in your shadow as well. Okay, so if some part of this you're connecting with, then this could be your pile. This person I'm tapped into here, I feel like this is an early stage on a twin flame journey. We've met our twin or a soul person. We're a little bit early here because we don't know for sure. Okay, but I feel like there's a lot of trauma still here. A lot of trauma. And the trauma is that in which, all of us carry as humans here. But when we start on our spiritual path, we start to peel back the layers of our own perception on how we carry that energy, and so this is somebody kind of working through acknowledging, and it's coming to light, certain traumas from within. And so I feel like this is still a very, like I say, early stage in this connection, because there's still heavy ego presence here. And when I say ego, it's like, what is this person doing? Really stuck in the conversation that was last had. It could be full of drama here still between the two. There could be a lot of arguments and conflict. Okay, but I feel like in this state, I do feel like, I think there was what I'm picking up energetically is, although it's an early stage, I feel like there could have been something that has happened now, okay, that has caused this breaking off. So there could be I'm seeing like either a period of separation or something like a tower moment that is now brought some more into light. And what's coming into light is more of a spotlight on ourselves. And it's sometimes very difficult when we have the spotlight on ourselves, because now we have no choice but to sort of peel back how we engage with everything and everyone and our own life. So with this is also coming our psychic ability. I feel like there is maybe tapping into the divine here. Maybe we're seeing a little bit more of, I don't know, getting downloads. Maybe we're getting signs, symbols, synchronicities, signals, whatever it is that we're getting here. I feel like the third eye is opening, our psychic ability is sort of opening as we're starting to become aware and awakened. And so the true self, which has always been with us, is underneath. Okay, and this true self is wanting to be purified. And I mean, we're not pure enlightened beings. We can never really be pure and enlightened unless we reach the state of Jesus, right? But we are always striving to become enlightened beings and to ascend and to connect to our authentic being, which is that of the divine. So I feel like the divine being that's within you, and I say you, this person, is coming forward. This person is waking up. There's a lot of healing that is needing to be done. I'm not seeing this so much as the connection, because I feel like there's a pause here for a specific reason. The pause and the connection, and as you guys may or may not know, we're put in contact with our twin so that we can reflect back to us healing, and so we can find our true authentic self and raise the vibration here on earth. It's all about the self journey, self soulful discovery of self. And so this is what's happening here. And so the energy is shifting towards this. What do I need to see within myself so I can find peace? But I feel like we're at the early stage of this, and so we might not know that this is what the universe is sort of nudging us towards. We might still be in the matrix, still stalking on social media, still putting our energy towards external rather than pulling it back. And so we might still feel like we're separated from our twin. We might still feel there's separation consciousness here because there's a belief in scarcity rather than we are already connected. We are already connected and going through this sort of journey and understanding rather than just saying it, understanding what this means. Understanding what does oneness mean? When we are at one, what does that feel like? What does this mean? Rather than just sort of a saying that we say, right? So I feel like there's connecting to all of this, and it could be very overwhelming. So I feel like there's no denying something's happening to us spiritually here, okay? Like you would know that there's something spiritual for sure because it's very intense here. And it could be that the most dramatic sort of karmic toxic part of the connection might be kind of under wraps, or it's kind of behind us, okay? Kind of behind us, more of the physical matrix connection with this person. And now we're sort of opening a door, I'm seeing, to this opening this door now to a different phase in this journey. And this phase is very, very intense. I mean, it's always intense when we're with our twin, right? And our traumas get triggered, so that's intensity. But this intensity is different because this is an intensity of the divine, intensity of the synchronicities, intensity of dreams, intensity of feeling maybe upside down because everything that we might have thought that we was real, it had to be real in the 3D is now there's a question mark because everything could be real and everything could be imagined. Our dream state is as equally as valid as our awakened state. And that our perceptions of what we see, okay, is like a dream state. We're the ones giving that power. It's kind of like being in a mental ward. When we go visit someone in the mental ward and they start to talk to us like they recognize us from, I don't know, but you've never met this person, and they give you this whole story of who you are and whatever their insane mind is sort of believing. We feel for that person. We know that they're an insane sort of soul here, and this is the same thing we find out when we are sort of enlightened, that all beings are sort of carrying their own insanity because of their own perceptions, their own beliefs, and their own sort of experiences that are putting on a certain filter. And so we're looking at our own self here, or at least this is where we're being nudged towards. So it's very intense here, and I feel there's lots to heal, because I do feel like in this connection, because now the connection's coming through here, and this connection was not easy because I feel like this person triggered you. Okay, they triggered you, and I'm not saying this person was right to trigger you or anything they did was proper or not. I feel it was potentially toxic. Potentially this person was not very nice, or potentially just your experience of what happens here is not good. I also feel like we might be, I don't know if we're going back and forth or we're in an energy of when we connect with our authenticity, we now reflect back on how we engaged in the connection. Or we could be connecting or reflecting on our whole life, which again is a lot of work here. Sometimes takes lifetimes to reflect on this, but I feel there's a looking back on how we engaged and seeing it differently, you know, and this is very healing because we're now able to be honest with ourselves. And so we know that we didn't maybe act in our highest good, that we weren't acting out of authenticity, that we were acting out of our insane perception, which again is the ego, rather than the truth of the heart. And so the truth of the heart is coming through here, wanting to be expressed, wanting to be acknowledged, so we can learn about unconditional love and unity consciousness, not separation consciousness and scarcity. And so we're looking back on ourselves as maybe doing things that were misaligned. And so I think there is some caring of maybe I didn't do the best thing here, or now I could see my own sort of involvement, even though maybe this person was this, that, and the other, and it wasn't right. I had an involvement. I also could have done this different, or I also could have engaged different, or now I see this as something that's not so as threatening. You know, I could see it for what it is. I'm shedding the insane story that I was hanging on to here, and I'm seeing through it that maybe this person was in shadow, that I might have took something in as it's taking away from me, but it really wasn't doing this at all. You know, I gave it power. And so I feel like there is the connection, but then there's so much deeper here with this violet flame activation, which is really how everything is interconnected in our world, and reviewing all our sort of connections and the karmas, you know, like being very open and honest with self, like how have I shown up in connection, in relationship to things in my world, and I want to align differently. I want to connect differently. I want to heal where there's apparent, now to me, apparent trauma or apparent ways of me being that I couldn't see before, that were limiting me, or that I had on program, automatic programming that's now apparent. I could see it. Okay, so like I said, sounds like one energy. If this is your energy, then this is going to be your twin flame connection that I'm tapped into here with the Celtic cross, and we're looking at the current status energetically, but it is going to pull through whatever we need to see. Okay, and like I say, if it's not your story, don't make it fit. Okay, so Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile 1. We're looking at this twin flame journey, pile 1, and the person on their mind, this connection. Can we please take a look at what they're needing to know here, right now, on this twin flame journey in regards to this connection? And let's see. So, clear and concise message. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing this reading for you guys. I wish you guys all healing, and this is a safe place for you to tap into your own intuition here. Okay, so overall energy, this twin flame connection overall, crosses, beneath, behind, what crowns, immediately before, our future, see self, sees environments, hopes and fears, outcome, and overall energy. Okay, you guys ready? The Knight of Wands. Let me put that here. Knight of Wands. Okay. Let's take a look. So, 2 Pentacles in reverse, and the 6 of Cups crossing. I'm going to flip them all so I can really tap into this, okay? So yeah, and then we have Knight of Cups. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, and we have Strength in reverse, and we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Magician in reverse. We have Page of Cups in reverse. We have King of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Chariot. So quickly with the Zodiac, we have Cancer, we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, we have Virgo, Gemini, we have Leo, we have Pisces, and that's about it for now. Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, let me tap into this energy and see what's going on here. Okay. So the connection, I feel the connection, it is sort of stuck here. Okay, I feel a major imbalance. And I feel like there was the coming together. I see there being feelings. I do feel the feelings are on both sides here. It was felt. Okay, so I feel our heart space opened. I feel it is on both sides here. Oh, interesting. My cards were just falling over there. I do feel it was on both sides here, okay? But I feel like where we're at, because I'm looking at this current energy here, is because things are stuck, and they might be stuck because of a major imbalance energetically. And this might be a difficult reading, and I mean difficult because I'm tapping into sort of 3D, and then I'm jumping into sort of 5D energies, so hopefully I could bring it back to earth here, okay? But I feel like the imbalance is energy that transcends both you and this person. Meaning, yes, there might be a physical like imbalance where maybe one person is, you know, like in the 3D giving more, or whatever that imbalance is for sure, you know, or maybe there is an apparent sort of energetic 3D imbalance, and I think there is. But I feel like larger than that, the imbalance here is that there is a need to find balance in our own energy. And how we do this is we remove the particles, which is our perceptions and our egos and our constructs and our stories and programming. And how we remove it is we become aware of it, and it starts to fall away in order for us to find balance within self. Without balance of self, there is no balance of a partnership. And that's what's pretty much the big message here. Okay, so there's soul recognition, 100% with the Six of Cups in reverse. I don't know if it's the Six of Pentacles. Six of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups crossing. Okay, and so I feel like the biggest thing going on here right now is the emotions are overdriving the bigger story. Because when the emotions are driving us, it's kind of igniting us to really take charge. Because if we weren't emotionally charged, there wouldn't be a need to ascend or do anything. So I feel like the emotions are so heavily charged here in this connection. Like very heavily charged. There's a soul recognition. I feel something in my soul. It's very heavily charged. So I can't do anything but focus on this for now. And so although it doesn't do anything, except for waste time, really, because we're not really progressing on the journey, it sort of comes with the territory of much needed, because if we didn't feel this emotional pull, we would just carry on, and it's another connection that didn't work or that made me frustrated, and so I could turn off my mind and turn off my feelings and just move on with my day. But we can't do this. And we can't do this because we're being set on the path here of internal work. And the internal work takes some time here. And it's not an overnight. And so we can't just turn off the other person or turn off what we felt or turn off the feelings so easily here. Okay, but what we're being shown here is how we're supposed to move forward. And I feel like the stuckness here, the feeling almost, I'm feeling almost like the desperation or the challenge that has you really stuck. And I'm saying you because, again, I'm feeling predominantly one energy right now, is that we're hung up on still the other person, which is giving me that separation consciousness still, okay? And when we're in this stage and we start to hear these terms, it's difficult for us to understand what this means. But as long as we stay stuck on the energetic experience that we're having, we cannot move past this. And so we have to push ourselves. We don't have to do anything. But if we want to alleviate suffering, if we want to ascend, to become more enlightened, to rid ourselves of suffering, because this journey puts us on a very specific path, okay, of self-growth and self-discovery. The authentic self is pulling through here. And the only way to find the authentic self is to shine a light on the inauthentic self. And the only way to do this is for us to see greater truths that we might not see, which is, the shadows. So I feel like what it's showing here is that it's going to be a bit of a journey here where you're at. It is something of really working on leaning into facing any of the fears that you might identify as triggering an emotional response. I must do this, that, and the other. That's a fear. And so we must examine this. We must examine this and say, is this driven by heavily charged emotion here because of my fear, or because of this urgency I'm feeling? Because that's not coming from a heart space. This is coming from a programming, coming from an impure thought. And so we're being asked to requalify our thoughts as the thought comes, and then be brave and courageous when we got to look at ourselves. And so we got to start putting the work towards this, even though it's like, well, my twin flame or this person is not coming forward. No, your person won't come forward, or there won't be any progress here until we start to sort of understand and get balance within self, which is still going to be quite the process. I feel one twin flame, most likely divine masculine, is really held back, is probably not even awakened. And so what I feel I'm tapped into here is a divine feminine who's met her twin flame, soul recognition on both sides. There's heavily emotions on both sides here, and she's being called to lead this journey by doing the work and get herself out of the state that's going on here. Okay, and the state that's going on here is she's still in ego, she's still in matrix, she's still in separation consciousness. And so we feel like this other person is doing this to me. This other person needs to do this, that, and the other. This other person should and owes and does, and it doesn't matter what the other person is doing and shoulda, woulda, couldas. Spirit is clearly showing here that this divine feminine needs to shift how she's engaged and take back her power in order to focus on what she can, rather than looking at this masculine as having most of the power, and that in order for this connection to come together, both sides need to be doing something, right? That would logically make sense. And Spirit is saying, no, doesn't matter what the divine masculine is doing or the other side. But as long as we continue to look at that side as being able to do something they're not, or they are being selfish, or that it's imbalanced, or that they are running, or that they are unhealed, or that they are this, that, and the other, it's still an outward pour of energy towards the imbalance that I was feeling here. And so in order to bring it back into balance, it has to be, what can I, and it might start with, what can I do for myself in order for me to come together? But really, it will evolve into, what can I do for myself in order for me to become the best version of self. So I can be of service to others, everything and everyone. And if my twin happens to, wake up or see the value, then this could change things. But at this point, we're needing to really focus on self here. Okay, really focus on self. So I feel like what you want, to bring it back to practical terms, I think there's a separation. I think you want this person to apologize, or you want this person to express how they feel to you, or you want this person to do something here. You want reconciliation, or you want them to understand something more. You want them to say something. You want them to take action. You want to, it's all to do with what this other person can do, can say, and has done up until now, in order for the connection to manifest. You want the manifestation, the opportunity to be present. You want balance. But how you're seeing it come about is kind of reversed. It's not going to come balance once this person just automatically figures it out. It's not going to come balance once we sit there trying to convince them or give them space and time for them to figure it out, while we're sitting here thinking that we've done everything because we communicated, or we were nice, or we were supportive, or we gave them money, or we gave them trust, or we gave them this, or we gave them that. It doesn't matter what you did to this person or how you were there for this person. None of that matters. Okay, it's great if you're of service to this person, but as Jesus said, we got to be of service to all. Okay, the homeless, feed the homeless, visit the imprisoned, provide food and shelter, love thy neighbor. Okay, nothing to do with this person so much as what are we doing around in our world here to make the world a better place here. And so we have to start looking at ourselves as being imbalanced, because we are here to serve others and to open the heart space and live from a pure heart space. Okay, so if you don't feel this intensity, this might just be another connection, karmic connection, and this isn't your reading or your pile. This specific twin flame journey is we're really, really triggered, really stuck on someone. Someone's not moving, and we're fixated on the point that this person could do other things. And although you're right, they could, they're not going to. The only time they ever shift out of their own energy is when this divine feminine, which could be male or female, starts to take her power back and to really look at self and become very honest and starts to make steps towards ascension. Okay, so then we have movement, then we achieve balance, then we start to have success in this connection, because we become balanced and in harmony. We can now see the imbalance from a different sort of filter, and we can engage differently. And because twin flames share the same soul energy, that when the divine feminine ascends, the divine masculine is then triggered into his ascension in a different way, of course. And all twin flame journeys are different, so we can't expect we had a spiritual awakening, therefore our twin does. It doesn't quite work that way. Okay, and I think I explained in other videos with the chakra system, divine feminine rules the top chakras. Okay, like the crown chakra, the third eye, and the throat chakra. And then the heart is a shared energy space. And then divine masculine rules the solar plexus and the sacral and the root. So when energy moves, okay, I'm talking energetic, when energy moves and the divine feminine's ascending, she's clearing blocks in the chakras here. And for her is a very spiritual sort of 5D journey. And so if you've heard of the matrix twin, that generally refers to the masculine twin, because he is more stuck in the lower chakras, which is more 3D matrix stuff, addictions, and having to overcome self-confidence and certain things in this world that he's sort of stuck. Okay, but she comes into maybe her spiritual powers, her gifts, and her psychic abilities. And so I feel like what you're opening right now is your psychic ability to tap into the divine, to connect with an energy of 5D, and you're breaking out of the matrix is kind of what I see here. So very early stage. So this is going to not be everybody's reading, but I think this is probably someone who is fairly new to understanding maybe why this connection has happened, because I feel like whoever is resonating here is going to be with a soul person here and is completely stuck and fixated or not understanding why such intensity and why they can't get anywhere here in this connection. And they can't get anywhere no matter how much external they're putting on the other person, because this is a journey about turning it back in, doing what we can, you know, and it's difficult and it is painful, and not to resist and to say, well, I can't, you know, think about this person, so keep like trying to remove that thought, because what we resist persists. It's a step-by-step process, because this person, I keep pointing at this person, the divine masculine, because I feel is very stuck. Okay, the other twin, the other person, most likely your person, they start to make movement. When you make movement, they don't get to sit there forever and you become this, you know, complete enlightened being. It could be, but there's going to be movement, and so we have to adjust as things grow. And sometimes it happens in cycles. You know, we're not quite there. We might fall back in old ways, and so then it's kind of an on again, off again. And then we must go and we must work on self. We must recognize self. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of effort that we're going to put in, but effort isn't solely just to attain twin. This effort we're putting in is to shed ourselves of false self so we could be liberated and not be suffering ever again, you know. And when I say ever again, I mean in the same way. You know, suffering will always come as long as we have ego, and we have many egos. Okay, many things that we uncover, but when we shed the light on that ego, that specific thing, it no longer makes us suffer, because we've shined the light on it and we've transcended that. So we can't suffer from the same thing. When we find another thing and I shed the light on that, we transcend that. And so there's lots of different stuck energy, traumas, egos, shadow self, called shadow work. Okay, now I want to put a big caveat out here, and I always say this. I'm not a big believer that you have to heal all your childhood wounds, go see a psychologist and a psychiatrist and do all this to attain your twin, or that then your twin will come. You can find union, but I feel union is constant sort of evolution here. Twins will come and go. You know, if we keep falling back into ego, if we can keep ascending, then we are meant to keep ascending. We're meant to live our life's purpose here in the journey. So the twin may come back, you know, may enter our world, but how evolved are we? How do we then engage with this twin? It's going to shift things, you know, and then we come across another trauma, another hurdle, another thing that's apparent to us, you know. And as long as we want to see ourselves from a lens of what can I do in order to be the best version of myself here and love from a heart space, be of service to others. You know, if this brings me my twin, great. And if this is not this person, then it will align me with the right people and the right energy, then I'm winning. And I've found balance. So we're learning about masculine, feminine balance, integrating shadow, you know, in order for us to find victory here in this soul connection. Because when we find balance within self, connection comes, union comes. The universe delivers. When we're stuck, when we're in ego, when we're in trauma, when we're in blocks, when we're stuck in matrix rat race, he said, she said, we're stuck here. That's not balance. It's very imbalanced. So there's a recognition that there's a soul connection, but at the same time, how are we handling it? So I don't want to repeat myself. I just want to deliver the message. I love you guys very much. I will do my best to help you on this journey. There's a lot of videos, you know, that I've put out there that are going to assist you, whether it is about the twin flame or not, whether it's about how is this person feeling or not. Mostly, how can we heal self? And I feel like this is where we need to start aiming towards, you know, how can I heal myself? What is the shadow within me? What's going on here with myself? Can I look at myself differently? You know, how can I see people differently? How can I see this person differently? You know, let's push ourselves, you know. Okay, so this is what I have. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness, pile one. I hope you're still here. I forgot to give you advice because it's so long, and you of all people are probably going to need this. So I'm going to pull some advice here for you. I'll just kind of read these and see what you're being guided to do, although you were given quite a bit of advice, this should help you further, okay? So Spirit, please kindly for pile 1, is needing to hear what they're needing to hear here. Anything else that's being pulled through here for beautiful pile 1 to help them in this process. Okay. I'm being called to pull the one on top. Okay. So, a door to the infinite. Oh my goodness. Remember the door we were seeing, you guys? Sorry, I want to show you. Where did I put your pile? Bro, did I not just have this here? I'm sorry. I wanted to show you your pile. We had a door. I think it was the karma door. Okay. But anyway, it was giving me that you cracked open the door and now you're seeing the light here. Okay. Your authentic self. So a door to the infinite. At my heart center, there is a door that leads to the infinite. Today, I visit my heart center and open that door. As I enter, I experience a deep sense of serenity, and I understand that I am eternal and I am indestructible. From here, I can see beyond my life's challenges to the higher levels of my existence. I know that my inner light is infinite. So we've cracked open the heart space. We now know that there is something greater than this 3D world and this matrix world. Okay, and when we go from separation consciousness to unity consciousness, we know that there's an abundant, infinite universe. And so we're no longer in the scarcity mindset, you know, them versus me, outside versus me, and what's going on with me. It's a kind of oneness here. So, peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. So, it's difficult to detach initially when we're in separation and have that separation consciousness, okay? If we're in no contact and we're trying to silence the mind, Spirit is saying, try to bring your energy from the mind to the heart center where we could find peace. And this comes through meditation, long walks in nature. You know, maybe it's whatever allows you to sort of still the mind so that you can connect to the heart. And like I said, not resisting thoughts. Let the thought come and go, but we don't charge it. We know there's a greater truth and we sit with this. And so we tell ourselves that we are wrapped by the love of God. We are all oneness. We find peace. I think the mind will then silence. Okay, we'll silence and eventually we feel very connected. Relationships are just mirror images of your own life. How you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. That's the whole point that I've been talking about and the whole point of this journey. Okay, and of course, all relationships, right? But the one of the twin flame, why it's so energetically charged, is in order to be a catalyst for a greater change, opening heart space, connecting with divine, psychic abilities. Not every relationship's going to do this, but all relationships are a mirror until this is acting as a mirror to you. So you could see your psychic power, so you can step out of yourself. Self-sabotage, when you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. So this is, again, the energy I was saying, this person didn't do that, and this person could do this, and we don't see that we're in our own way. And there's nothing to do with anyone acting or needing to do, or why they're imbalanced, or any of that. So they could do this, and they could be completely imbalanced. But how are we getting in our own way? How are we imbalanced? How are we showing up for our neighbor? How are we showing up for our friends, family, and for ourselves? You know, do we have low vibe habits, low vibe beliefs, like I'm not good enough, or I have untruths that I'm keeping up in the air here in my own life, because this is a form of self-sabotage. So we need to identify that in self, and I don't think we're seeing it because we're too focused externally on this person. So now we remove our hand, and it's scary, and we go through the, you know, the dark night of the soul when we see parts of ourselves we don't want to see. But it is liberating when we forgive ourselves, when we make no judgment, when we know that by seeing these things, We can now transcend them and integrate shadow and have movement and find peace and connect to something greater. It's a beautiful journey, although very painful in the moment. Okay, so you're transitioning. Have patience with yourself. Know that you will find peace, one thing at a time here. Okay, don't force it, and try to take back your energy in order for you to put it towards what you're needing to do in order for the connection to move forward. Because if I'm really reading here for twin flames are going to come into union at the very time they're supposed to. And if both are stuck, not doing what they're supposed to do, then they can't come together. Okay, so this is what I have. Pile number 1. Now I'm done. I hope you got this advice. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello. Pile number 2, Blessed Angels. You guys pick the Aquarian Tarot. We're going to do a Celtic cross, looking at your twin flame connection. I'm going to call it a twin flame connection, although you might not label it as such. You might not know if you're in one. You might just call it a soul connection. If you resonate with this energy being your energy, the connection's energy, or your person's energy, then most likely this is your pile. And we'll be doing a look at the current state, sort of what you're needing to hear. All right, I'm not sure whose energy will pull through. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, so whatever you're needing to hear. But I'm going to lay out these cards. Tap into your own intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is the messaging that's right for you. Okay, so let's look at this connection and see if this is your pile. So we have Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? And then we have, you make me nervous. Okay. And we have lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. So this is Tower energy. 1111, take me home, pathway to true love. And we have 3-3 with soul merger, ebb and flow. Wow. Okay, and we have surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Okay. And we have damsel, light attributes. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Shadow attributes. Waiting for a knight to provide for you. Seduction by romantic illusion. Okay, and then we have choice. And we have wallflower, limited potential, shy, and withholding. And we have Mercury, Mars with 22, or the number 4. And 22 is a master number. It is about peacemaker, diplomacy. It's also about healthy energetic boundaries, and it is also representing divinely guided relationships, which is all about a twin flame journey. And we have Venus, Neptune, 35, or the number 8. Okay. And we have 12 with balance. The frequency of balance supports our ability to find harmony with all aspects of our 3-dimensional and multi-dimensional layers of reality. So let me sit here with this energy. I'm only feeling one energy really here. Okay. Which I feel might be your energy. So let's see. Let me tap in. If you hear noises, it's my son playing video games. So I'm feeling, I'll put this into words. I'm feeling an energy here, definitely one energy, which I think is your energy. And it is I feel like trusting in yourself. You know, trusting in yourself. So maybe before this connection, you were very shy, I feel, or hurt, or closed off, or there's something about your energy that was keeping you it could be your person, okay? It could be if this resonates. But if you were hurt, let's say in a past connection, or just you didn't even need to be in a past connection, but you just always found yourself sort of guarded. You found yourself guarded. I feel this person has shaken your world here, shaken your world in quite a way here, that I feel you're needing to address this, or at least you're seeing this now about yourself. You know, like, how confident can I come forward and be myself and communicate what I feel and trust myself, you know, and that I don't know, like I feel like your life was very limited when it came to partnership, and maybe you felt like you had limited sort of you had a lot of limitations on yourself, is what I feel, you know, which would limit your partners or your availability in connection here, because I don't know, it just, you were misunderstood, or just there was disinterest, and at a certain point we just lose complete confidence in either finding the right person, or that we don't want to go there anymore, or we're not, I don't know, we just cut ourselves off from connection, how I feel here. And so I feel like you met a person here, your twin flame, if you resonate with that, again being your label, and I feel like this has made you see an actual truth that I feel you're still maybe having a hard time believing of yourself, because this great truth is that you are a divine being here, and you're a divine being from God, who is worthy of being loved, who doesn't need to hang on to pain, who can connect to another, that there's nothing wrong with you, that everyone can connect, you know, everyone has the ability to connect, even you. And so I feel like this person, I don't think you were seeking them out. I feel like this person is probably someone you'd, you know, if you were in real old energy, you'd probably want to avoid. And why you'd avoid them is because in order to face this part of self is something that has not happened in your world up until now. And so you might not see this big shadow in self, you know, but now I feel you see this shadow in self, where it's coming to the surface very clear, that you must recognize this and see this as how it might have hindered you in connection, or in your own world, in your own life, your self-speak, what you want for yourself, you know, and finding your own sort of a voice in the world. And so I feel like you connect to this person, and you know that there's something more. You can't put your finger on it, but you, because of your past patterns and programming, you're still engaged in a way that hangs on to maybe the old story of how you have to be, or there's a narration in your voice that if I do anything outside of how I generally am, I'm going to either ruin it, look foolish, or I don't know how I'm supposed to engage. And so I feel we are I'm getting 7 cups, you know, and this is an energy of not really committing ourselves, being completely confused, what we're supposed to do, and how we're supposed to take targeted aim here in anything. And so we keep illusion alive, although I feel like you have a strong understanding or fantasy about who this person could be to you, you know, but it's not really grounded here in anything, because we didn't really do anything to ground or to communicate or to be confident enough to have a pointed, I don't know, like direction, conversation, choice, like commitment, you know. And so I feel like we might have been in an energy of complete imbalance, or finding balance. And I think we're finding balance of our masculine and feminine energy, okay, which is, how do I show love to self, be worthy of love, open my heart space, allow others to give me love? How can I communicate and express myself and connect with my emotions? How can I be healthily connected to my masculine energy, you know? and find that balance of self. So I feel like this person is definitely someone here in order to elevate you and bring you further in your path of healing this sort of energy that you were in, so you could see yourself and how this has been maybe limiting you in your world, you know, because I feel like for a lot of you guys, you might have just sort of settled, might have just been stuck in your world. I think now I might be reading your person, if I got to be honest, you know, as first coming through sort of as your energy, but whatever, you can flip-flop it. But, you know, we're seeing self now, and it's like we're the only ones that can rescue self. Nobody else can sort of do this for us. And the only way we can sort of rescue ourselves is by being very honest with ourselves and being confident in our ability to make decisions and to choose and be able to be vulnerable and be able to sort of take risks, you know, by once we tap into who we are authentically are, it's no longer sort of a risk here. It's a not really caring too much about how we might be perceived by others or judgments that we have on self, because we are aligned more authentically. And so we start to take action. I feel like there's an energy here of this person not taking action in their world aside from this connection. So one, they haven't taken action on this connection. Two, in their own world, it seems pretty consistently stuck. Maybe they're still, you know, I don't know, having to evolve somehow. Like they're really limiting themselves. They might not want to move out of their hometown or leave a certain job or a certain connection that has them stuck. Or there's like a lot of lifestyle settling in how I am, because change would require me to do things differently, and it would require a different sort of confidence about me. It would require me to do these things, and it is connected back to this connection, because I feel like this connection is requiring this person to take action in their world, which they'd rather just shut off, you know. And so this is the true path of taking them home to self in order for them to sort of merge here in this connection. And I feel like the merging here is because now I'm getting the other energy, which most likely is divine feminine. It might be sort of already well in this journey and ascended, you know, and might be sort of, I don't know, creating quite the distance here between this person and this divine feminine is what I'm feeling. And so this divine masculine energy, if I got to be honest, this feeling divine masculine here, is really needing to take action, you know, in his own world, there. If it's male, it's male. If it's female, it's female. But divine masculine energy, which is the twin that is, you know, sort of the last one here to ascend or to wake up, if you will, on this journey. But I feel like there's a need to take action. There's an identifying that we're stuck and we can't unsee what we're seeing about ourselves here. And so I feel there's I can't sit here any longer, but what? Then that would require me to do something. And that could be an upheaval in our world. But there's a need to communicate and be empowered to express how we feel and to take action on what we want that's aligned with an authenticity here. Okay, so if this sounds like your person, okay, or you, or the connection, again, this sounded more like one energy of a person, let's take a look. Celtic cross in regards to this twin flame connection that I've tapped into here with this, I'm going to call it divine masculine, okay? We'll do a Celtic cross and see what we see here. It could be a blend of energies. It could be more on this divine masculine. It could be the flip. I'm just going to take the one that revealed itself because there's way too many here. So this is the covering card with the Chariot. That's Cancer energy. So clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2 spirits in this twin flame connection. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection and of this viewer. Thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here today. Okay, so we have the covering card, the crossing card, beneath you, now you as in energetically, behind you. Nope, doesn't feel right. Crowns you, immediately before you. Far future. Sees self, sees environment. Hopes and fears. Outcome. I'm feeling these. And bottom of the deck, overall energy, 9 cups. Under 9 cups, we have the Lovers. Okay. I'm still kind of feeling the same energy I was feeling here. But I'm going to flip them all and see what I see here. Let's tap through, okay? So Chariot, how come that sounds weird? Chariot, Hierophant in crossing card. We have the Moon in reverse, and the beneath we have 7 of Wands in reverse and behind. Crowning card, we have the 9 of Pentacles, and we have the 7 Cups, which I was feeling in the immediate future. And we have Queen of Swords in the distant future. We have Ace of Cups in the see self environment. We have Judgment in the hopes and fears. We have 8 Pentacles in reverse. We have 3 Cups, and then for the outcome we have the 10 Wands. We have the 6 Pentacles in reverse, and we have the 2 Cups in reverse. And like I said, we have the Lovers and the 9 Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so now for signs, we have Gemini, and we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Taurus, and we have Cancer and Cancer, Pisces. Okay, so let's see what this is about. Okay, it's not very complicated and it's not very layered. It's very simple, and it could be very simple because I feel I'm tapped into this energy, which was very simple because this person is just kind of doing their same old thing. Okay, so what's happened here, and if this is your energy, then this is why we're sort of in this connection in order to hold up a mirror to something here that needs to sort of, and I say needs to, we don't need to do anything, but energy cannot sit stagnant. And so if we're stuck, then, you know, we're having to kind of shake up, wake up, and ascend here spiritually and energetically. So this person that I'm tapped into still is being shown this connection in order to take charge and movement in their own life, to move forward with themselves, okay, in their life. How they see their own world right now, I think, is very limited. And so they're very stuck in their beliefs and their traditions and their same old things. Now, this doesn't mean that they have to be religious by any means. They could be, but I feel like it's the way they live their life. You know, the way they live their life is what they're really focused on. And it's okay to have beliefs, you know, but I feel like it's driving the agenda rather than the world unfolding and the universe, like, just sort of unfolding in the present moment for this person, for them to accept the blessings, you know. But I feel it's easier for them to tell themselves who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be based on programming and indoctrination here. So I feel like they are being awakened to this, that they were living in some big illusion here, and that fear has been driving a lot of their decisions in their world, keeping them stuck, not allowing them to make change, not allowing them to move forward, being very fixated in their way. So now they're in this connection that's actually waking them up slowly but surely. They're having to address their fears. They're actually seeing, like I said, and they can't be denying anymore, because when we see it, we can't unsee. And so I feel like this person has been fairly defensive in their position. I feel this person is slowly learning not to fight and resist the connection, which reflects back to their world. Fight and resist the universe and what's unfolding. So that this person can become an independent energy here that's free of what they're dependent on. So they could be single, but they could have heavy dependency on being single. Okay, or they could be in a world that's unfolded around them, and they're now dependent on that world and that belief and that structure, so much so that it doesn't allow them to be free and independent of that environment. So they have an attachment. So in the immediate future, I see this person as having to really sit with that 7 cups that they created, that they're going to not be able to escape it, that they're going to have to come into some sort of decision as far as where they want to invest. And if they choose to invest in the wrong cup, let's say, then they're going to hit whatever sort of obstacle they need to hit until they go to the next option, until they go to the next. And eventually they can't run from themselves. That there is going to be so many circles we can do, avoiding, escaping, suppressing, denying, running, that there's a greater truth here. And the great truth is, what do I take action on? What is my truth? What is my honest truth? And so I feel like this person is going to come into that scenario where they have to take action on their truth based on the experience that they had, because I feel like this person might trip and fall a couple of times. But the thing is, they can't stay stuck in the same energy that they're in, because it won't allow them to have any progress here towards what they're being called to do. And I feel like the big calling here is for them to find a balance of self and allow themselves to move forward in life and to ascend here. Okay, so right now this person is learning about self-love, how to receive love. It's all about themselves, because I don't think this person has a healthy relationship with themselves, if I got to be honest. Okay, like what I started off, what was really pulling through is a lack of confidence. I'm not worthy of love, this shy energy, withholding, like relationship maybe not for me, or I don't want, or I don't like, this is really 4 cups sort of energy. So it's how their natural energy is, 4 cups. Either I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy of love, every single thing I've seen has been disappointing when it comes to connection, or my parents' connection, my world has only taught me that, this, that, and the other, and then we create this belief, and then we just keep it alive by our own thoughts. So there is this experience that this person is having, which is giving self-love, understanding their own self-worth, and really, really knowing that they're worthy of love, that they don't need to resist the divine. Okay, and I feel like this will bring in some sort of awareness of clarity and truth when it comes to what's going on really in front of them and around them, which is this connection. Because we can't really see this connection when we're in a lie with self. We can't really see the truth of someone else when we see a lie in self. When our veil of how we perceive ourselves is skewed, we can't get the honest truth about others. And so I feel like this person cannot see you, because I'm going to read this as your person, okay? Cannot see you and won't be able to see you, even if you're right in front of them, even if you have never met them. They can't see you because they aren't seeing themselves clearly here, and they haven't tapped into this sort of place where they're needing to go. Okay, so what's this person's biggest fear? I feel like this person's biggest fear is to connect, if I got to be honest, with other people, and they might not know it, but it's like they just give up before they even got started. They don't even put themselves out there because there's a trauma, maybe a trauma around being rejected, maybe a trauma around, will I be accepted? Maybe a trauma around, I don't know how to be around other people. Maybe a trauma around, I've been hurt. Whatever this belief is, I think has them very removed. This is like very hermit sort of energy. So even if this person is around a lot of people, I have a lot of friends, I go to a lot of parties, I'm very social, this person is really removed in their and their, I was going to say their soul, their energy. It is very restricted here and confined. I don't think a lot of people tap into this, and I think you might have tapped into this with this person at some point. Of course, if you are a twin flame, you must have, because I feel like if this person has been shooken up to make this change, it would be because we've now connected with someone. And now what? It's like we can't unsee, and when we feel that, we get a taste of the actual truth, that I'm a divine being that's worthy of love. I'm not here to suffer and to witness everyone else sort of be in love and give love. And there's this, this shocking sort of energy of realization, and now seeing some greater truth here. And so we can't maintain just, in an energy of not doing and giving up, and saying it's enough for me just to kind of do the dance or to have the friends, but not to connect on a one-on-one, because I don't feel this person has been able to share a 2 cups, nor has this person been able to have an upright cup for themselves. I feel like they're just sort of scurrying around with this 3 cup scenario, and this could be unfulfilling relationships, a lot of friends, a lot of partying, maybe a lot of drinking, but I feel like it's a distraction from me really loving myself, me understanding myself, and then me being in a relationship. But until I know myself and love thyself and am ready to receive, I cannot be this for anyone else. So I need to be this 9 pentacles in the upright here, and confident in my ability to know what I want, and not all confused, and not be in third parties, or, keep things confusing and that sort of thing, if they are in third parties. But a third party doesn't have to be a person. Third party could be keeping things confusing because there's fear in being decisive and saying I'm open for 2 cups, because this person isn't open for 2 cups. They don't even have the 1, like I said. Okay, so now we're looking at this outcome energy, and we're looking at the 10 wands, the 6 pentacles in reverse, and the 2 cups in reverse. I feel like this connection could have created a separation here, or will, or has. Okay, and so if you're separated, it is mostly because of the imbalance, and the imbalance is very evident in this person's energy. They cannot be there for you emotionally. They cannot give. They cannot be there physically, energetically. Maybe they do their best, but I feel like it's imbalanced, and so it results in a not coming together and an inability to be the other cup here. And it is the heaviness here, the burden here, is this person's inability to show up. And so it's felt on both sides. And like I said, it either led to you guys not working together, or it leads to you guys being separated, or it just leads to you seeing this great imbalance. Okay, so when the heaviness happens, something falls down, a great truth is seen, and it's usually felt when we're suffering. And that usually comes when we're in separation, or when things fall apart. And so I feel like this person is in some realization, because I'm looking at current energy. And the realization is here, I have to make a choice. And what's actually going to make me emotionally happy, not what I'm covering up in order to protect myself from getting hurt, which doesn't make me emotionally happy. Not the relationships that I have around me that I'm using as a filler in order to tell myself I'm happy. Not the usual world that I sort of lean into as distraction here, and sort of told myself that I believe is right for me, because it doesn't make me emotionally happy. But pile number 2 makes me emotionally happy, and I feel it, and I can't deny it, and I can't unsee it. So how do I get my happiness back? I have to make this choice, but I can't make this choice to be in a 2 cups balance until I do this. And so when I do this, I got to do this, and to do this, I got to put my defenses down, and now I just got to take my chance with this cup being right if I don't know, take that cup if I don't know, take that cup I don't know, and then I'm left with the truth. And then I know. And then I know where I'm supposed to choose. And then I know my path, and then I know my person. But I think this person, and look at that, 6 cups, soul recognition, soulmates, divinely guided relationship. Okay, that makes this person happy. But I feel they can't see it because they can't see themselves just yet. And so it's all confusing because they're still confused. And to undo this thread is a series of process steps, and if we're still defensive and guarded and trying to upkeep our old world, it takes time, and fear holds us back. But I feel this person, for sure, because I'm reading this like current state, is coming out of fear. Things have come up from their subconscious that they can't unsee because of this connection. And they're dropping their guard. And they finally understand that there's some confusion, and they know that there's a decision they're needing to make. I don't know necessarily that this person knows how to love self and is knowing their self-worth, but I feel this is coming. When this comes, there's going to be a hallelujah moment in seeing who you are. Like your being is going to be an awakening moment for this person when they can actually see a greater truth, but they can't just yet. And this is sort of far future. And when I read far future, like, I don't know, I could probably be like 3 to 6 months, is kind of what I get with far future. But again, we're not, time isn't linear here. But I feel like we can't no more carry up the facade, or we can't no more just be this wallflower. We can't no more pretend or stay stuck, because then one straw too many, in the imbalanced world, everything comes tumbling down, and we have to face what we need to face. And this is what's happening already. This person's facing what they need to face. And it's all in their own world, all in their own beliefs, all in how they're committing themselves. Because the universe is saying, hey, pile two's person, like, time to move forward. You can have success. You can get what you want. You've already seen it. You're telling yourself untruths, which is keeping you unhappy and keeping up, false scenarios in some way here of telling yourself that this is all you need. Meanwhile, it's not a 2 cups. So this is what I see for pile number 2, you guys. I feel bad because I feel like this person doesn't see you. They don't see you, what you're maybe trying to do here with this person, or what maybe you've given to this person, or who you are to them, because they don't see themselves. And so that's difficult, but I have a feeling you're probably focused on self. You're probably doing what you need to do here. And the connection here, like I said, is probably fallen apart here and needed to. So let's get some advice. Okay, I don't know. You might be this person, but I doubt it if you're still asleep in some way, or maybe you're just trying to find your confidence. Let's try to ask Spirit for the best advice here, because I don't know if this is going to come for who, but it's going to be advice and guidance for the viewer before we carry on to the next pile. It's interesting how these readings are coming out, because I don't know, I wasn't expecting just to get generally a one energy, but that's how the first 2 came out anyway. Thought we'd get more blended. Okay, so we have gratitude. Life is one big continuous circle of giving and receiving energy. Be thankful for who and what's in your life instead of complaining about what you don't have. If you focus on gratitude, you'll start to attract prosperity and abundance. So I think this goes both ways. Okay, if this person is totally like in this world, it's difficult to have compassion, but be grateful, for another soul here, and have compassion that this person is sort of in this sort of state. But I feel like this person that I've tapped into, they need to understand, that their world that they built here is something that they have the control to pull their own energy back in order to move forward by giving gratitude, not looking at what doesn't work, and keeping this alive in some way. Let it go. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and the guidance of Spirit, as we all have only your best intentions at heart, and we'll do everything in our power to protect you. So I think this is definitely the person who is having to let this person be, and letting go of their lifestyle, letting go of the things that bring them comfort. So letting go is an important part of the surrender process. So I find as the divine feminine's letting go of this divine masculine is learning to let go of some sort of fear here and understanding of self that is hindering them and not helping them see the greatest truth here. Balance. I find balance between each sphere of my life. I am the master of my daily life. I make time to nourish the spiral and the physical. maybe this person's gone in spirals. Nourish the spiritual and the physical. I bring love to my world by fulfilling the needs of my body and my soul. I feel like this person's has ignored their soul. So they're needing to find balance between the matrix world of the body and the spiritual realm, which is this is surrender to the intuition part. Okay, they've been really, really sort of focused on the matrix world here. And when I say spiral instead of spiritual, and I don't think there's any Freudian slips for no reason, I feel like this person certainly could have kept you in spirals, like repeat cycles here, or this person could be stuck in some sort of rat race, you know, and so there's a need to let go of it in order to bring themselves out and find the balance. Yes. Okay. And then everything changes. A soft light radiates from my heart. It illuminates those around me and transforms every situation I encounter. I maintain a positive attitude in spite of any difficulties I may perceive. No matter the circumstances, I remain a source of true joy. Everything changes when it is bathed in the light of the divine. So this guidance is great for both sides, you know, but I feel like we need to trust that this person will have to do whatever they need to do when they need to do it. And that the biggest message takeaway with this person was that everything does change. We can't hang on and be stuck to our lifestyle of believing and not allowing us to move forward. Everything changes. Everything changes. And so we can tell the universe that we trust it and give gratitude to the change, because the more we are held back and held on to what we want it to be, we're telling the universe that we're not wanting this change, and it causes suffering and heaviness and unhappiness and burden, and that's the imbalance. And so when we learn to work with the universe, we then have victory. But it requires us letting go and knowing that the universe knows what's best. And so the divine feminine is learning to let go of this connection so she can move forward as well, because everything does change the minute she learns to trust the divine. Okay, so this is what I have. Pile number 2. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the Zillich Tarot, and we're doing a twin flame reading. And so they've been coming out kind of interesting, because I was expecting to see like 2 twins, but the first 2 piles was clearly mostly about one energy. And so I don't know if it's going to be your energy or your twins, but it's providing guidance where that person's kind of at, so we could get insight into that person or into our own sort of journey. So you take what resonates. They could come blended at any point. I don't know what your pile is, because I haven't seen these cards, nor have I done the tarot yet, but what I asked Spirit was to show us insight here in the twin flame journey between you and this person. So this could either be your energy, your person's energy, or the connection. And so it's up to you to determine if this resonates for you. If it does, then this is going to be your pile, which I'll look at the current sort of state and see what's pulling through here with the tarot using the Celtic cross. Okay, so use your own intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this messaging's for you. And like I said in the other piles, twin flame connection is just a label. If you're resonating as a soul connection, if you're not sure, but you're here, chances are there's a reason why you're resonating with this. So just use that sort of terminology loosely, although I will be reading this as a twin flame because I'm tapped into twin flame connections for this reading, okay? So let's take a look, shall we? So we have the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Oh my goodness. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Oh my goodness. This is probably the most beautiful card I've ever seen. Isn't that the most amazing reassurance here? The Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Look at all this blue energy. Throat chakra energy. Love it. So we have unhealthy attachment. Okay. Well, this is when we need to learn that Spirit has our back. We have stabbed in the back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. All right, let's see what we're pulling through here. Path of least resistance. Choose ease and grace. That's 8-8. Okay. And we have 7-7 with rebirth. Personal freedom unleashed. All right. And we have surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. Okay, and we have mystic, light attributes, revels in intimate union with the divine. Oh my goodness. Shadow attributes, delusional rapport with the divine. Fear, which says leer. Wow, okay. And then we have gossip, neighbors, small talk, and grapevine. And we have career, business, success, and advancement. And we have Saturn, Uranus with 52, or the number 7. Saturn ruling planet for Capricorn and Aquarius. Uranus is also for Aquarius here, depending how you do your zodiac. And here we have strength, card 38. And it says, the frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all of our qualities and skills towards a strong and balanced way of being. Okay. I'm kind of getting two sort of energies here, but I feel like it's not one, it's not divine feminine and divine masculine. I feel like it's two types of viewers here that are coming through, pulling through as divine feminine, if I have to be honest right here. So let me see. Okay, I'll read this, everything that sort of pulls through, and it might take a while to become clear because I gotta shuffle through energy here. Okay. So beautiful pile 3. I feel like some of you guys that I've read for in the past are here, and it's always the difficult message that I always keep saying that I'm delivering, and some of you guys like it, and some of you guys are still impartial to maybe what it is that I'm trying to deliver here, because I feel like there's a real detaching from our ego. Okay, like this energy that I'm reading here, and like I said, I still feel 2, so I'm gonna try doing my best. So either we're aware of our own ego and we've been really trying to make changes in our world here because we were suffering with the connection that we were in. Okay, and the connection we were in was an unhealthy attachment, and we're now seeing how it was unhealthy and why it was unhealthy. You know, and it's not through the eyes of this person was unhealthy and mean to me. It was, this connection wasn't healthy because of the fact that I wasn't seeing the truth of what was going on here in this connection. So it kept me in suffering. And so the more I reveal what's actually going on, the truth of what's going on, the more liberated I feel, and the more free I feel from the fear and the suffering and what's going on. But what happened in this connection, either way, I feel, for all viewers here, is that the person you're engaged with wasn't all that good to you. Okay? They might have cheated in an extreme event. They might have just made you feel not good because they lied. They broke your trust. You felt betrayed. So here's where we deviate. Some of you guys are still resentful. And still, although we say we're not mad, we're still an ego. Even though we say we're not angry, we're still an ego. And how we know this is because we're still looking at what that person did to us. We're a victim. And it's hard to hear, you know, because this isn't about victim blaming. This isn't about us trying to force someone to make us settle. None of that. This is about us using our real enlightened eyes to see that people have shadow and they're going to behave however they behave, and it has nothing to do with us. And so when we give our power away by being resentful, by being mad, by being upset, by only looking at what that person did to us, we hang on to the suffering. And so this energy is learning to free themselves of the suffering. And it's difficult to free themselves of the suffering here because it requires them being very honest with themselves. And so They might first seek out trying to be validated. Validated that they're in the right, that their person did something upsetting to them, or that that person was in the wrong. Because they want to feel, they want to feel like they're in the right, and they might have done everything here in the Matrix world right. They might have been very nice. They might have been supportive. They might have bent over backwards. Yes, they might have done all those things. They might have been very angelic and did nothing wrong. But what's going on now energetically is that this person that I'm tapped into here is still an ego, because they're still looking at it as, I've done these things, and so therefore this other person who's lied to me did something wrong. And this is separation consciousness. This is duality. This is seeing you're wrong, I'm right. I'm right, you're wrong. Vice versa. I'm wrong, you're right. I'm victim, you're the threat. This is right, that's wrong. Outside, inside. Them versus me. So, we can have that thought, okay? We can have that thought. That's fine. There's nothing saying that we shouldn't. But if we're ascending, if we're becoming enlightened beings, this connection is one in which we're having to hold a mirror up to ourselves, because I feel this connection is making this person step out of their ego, open their heart space to see beyond people's shadows and their deeds as not this person's bad, or this person's this or that, or making judgment, but that this person, just like me, does things from the shadow. God has a perfect universe. And when things aren't happening perfectly, it's because there is shadow. It's because there is traumas. And so everyone is sort of at their own place of uncovering their own trauma and shadow. And I'm only responsible for my own self and what I see in myself, not where someone else is undoing their shadow or how in tune they are with their own action. So this person I'm tapped into, very psychic, their psychic abilities is opening up here. Okay, but I feel like the psychic ability here is them really connecting with the divine and the divine plan for this person to really soulfully, spiritually connect with something greater than self that transcends the ego, and know that the divine is going to carry them through difficulty in order for things to work out perfectly, just as the universe has intended. But first, this person must free themselves from the suffering, from the attachment. Anytime we're attached to anything or anyone, there is suffering. So could we then not like anything? No, we can have our preferences. We can still have love. But unhealthy attachment is where we feel that there is some sense of needing control. There's some sense of, if I don't have this thing, it's going to take away from me in some way. It's going to add to me in some way. Okay, but nothing can add or take away from a pure being of God. And so when we connect to the pure being of God, we know we're protected, that no one or no thing, no matter how devious it may be, can harm us, can hurt us, can create suffering within us, because we're now connected to the divine. Okay? And this is personal freedom. So this person is learning about personal freedom in connection because of this connection, which I still feel is a soul connection. And of course, this would happen when we are in contact with our twin flame. And so when this person opens this heart space to unconditional love, because this is learning unconditional love of all, even the ones that we're making judgment, or the ones that we said did the bad deeds, we're seeing everyone from the eyes of God here. That everyone is a child of God. And so we no longer hold resentment. We no longer judge this person's action. We no longer are steering from fear, because fear is the driver of when we need control, which is always because of some sort of attachment that's unhealthy. Any sort of form of attachment's unhealthy, but it's always driven by fear. So if we need to have this person apologize, if we are suffering in any way because someone else is doing something, then that's an unhealthy attachment, stem from fear. So I feel like if you want to know if this is your sort of pile here, I feel that there's been a history for sure. This person lied or did something. It might have been shocking. Okay, could have been third party, could have just been something shocking here. It didn't have to necessarily be cheating or third party, but you know, and I feel like it's very sort of matrixy in the way that this is sort of happening here, and so this person is being shaken up so that they can connect to the divine and release resentments about what's happened here and lean into their own courage of their own strength to find themselves here, to lean on the divine and trust the divine, that the divine is going to protect them with this unwavering, unconditional sort of understanding, you know, like truly an inner standing of this through the Holy Spirit. And so then we start to understand that miracles can unfold and things could shift and things could change. But when we're sort of stuck doing the same thing, we sort of get the same results. So I feel like things are difficult right now, and they're difficult because I feel this person doesn't fully recognize that their own way of how they are mentally, energetically engaged, whether they're doing anything or not, however they're projecting or seeing or perceiving, is the issue, is the hang-up, is stemmed by a fear when we peel the layers back. And when we see our own sort of fear back there, and we understand our own intention, and we're honest with it, then things shift because we can see through ourselves. And we start to let go of any sort of anger, resentments. And if we're not angry, then it's the ego. You know, the ego that is saying, I've done all these right things, and I'm not mad, because that even props it up even more. It makes us more heroic and someone else more, you know, the bully. It makes us more the victim. That's ego. I'm more the victim. I'm more the right. I'm good because I did all these things. Yeah, in the ego, in the matrix world, that's precisely it. You know, we did all these things right by the matrix understanding, but not when it comes to the divine. The divine doesn't say that. The divine doesn't favor this person's good and this person's bad. The eyes of God sees everyone as God's child. We can do bad things, but when we do bad things, most likely we're acting in an autopilot here, and we're not in tune with the divine being that's inside. And so God is an all-forgiving God. It did pass no judgment. Okay? If we're really connected with the divine here. God does not, judge. Especially when someone's asleep. And I feel like somebody who is sleeping hurt you. Somebody who isn't in shadow hurt you. Somebody unaware of what they're doing hurt you. Should we accept it? No. But when we start to see it differently, it doesn't make us hold resentment. It doesn't keep us in the matrix. It doesn't keep us keeping the story alive. It changes the energy. It allows for forgiveness. It allows for shift. It allows for them to potentially see their own shadow. It allows for us to see where we're unhealthily attached, where we're still hanging on to the illusion of separation. And it starts to become easier. It takes time, but it becomes easier. Because it's been very difficult. So, I feel this is your energy, and you've been here again. Bless you, and you're coming back clearly because this is coming through again. So let's take a look at your twin flame journey. And like I said in the other piles, I was getting just one energy here, but we could get, again, the connection, your energy, their energy, but we'll see where things are at. So we have the Wheel of Fortune as the covering card. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful angels in pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. And truly blessed. So we have Wheel of Fortune as the covering card. We have Temperance as the crossing card. Yes. What's beneath you, behind you, what crowns you. If you guys hear noises, my son's playing video games and he's sometimes growling at the TV. Immediate future, far future. See self. Sees environment. Hopes and fears. Outcome. And bottom of the deck energy. The sun. I don't read bottom of the deck reversed. Leo energy. I'm going to flip them all so I can sort of tap in here. Okay, under the sun we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so the Lovers in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Immediate future, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and far future, we have the Chariot in reverse. We have the Knight of Discs and the Universe in reverse for sees self, sees environment. We have the Eight Wands. And hopes and fears, we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Tower. And outcome card, we have Two Pentacles in reverse and it says change. Okay. So not easy message, but I'm reading the right here, right now energy. Okay, in this connection, I feel one energy so far. Hierophant under that. I'm going to read the signs for those of you guys who need it. So we have Leo, we have Taurus, and we have Sagittarius, we have Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Okay. So let me just tap in here for a little bit here. Okay. I still feel it's the same energy I was tapped into. So it's your energy, but it's talking about your twin flame journey because the twin flame journey is about self. So if you're wanting things to shift for yourself and in this connection, there's a need to sort of deal with self here. Okay. So I think you really want things to get better, and who doesn't? Like, I don't blame you for this, but for things to get better, for things to move, it's all about you, period. End of story. So things will start to feel better. Things will start to move in your outside world the minute we understand this concept. And in order to do this, we have to work with ourselves. We have to find balance within self. And right now we're imbalanced because I feel like it's all about what that person did or is doing or hasn't done or all that stuff. And it doesn't mean that you're actively complaining about it. It's just energetically your perception of what has happened is skewed. There's a carrying of understanding here that needs to be really examined. And this is, I want to move forward in the right direction, whatever that right direction is for me. I think you would agree. You don't want to suffer, and I don't want you to suffer, and neither does the divine. So in order for you to not suffer, in order for you to move towards what is right, it could or could not be this connection. But we have to get there mentally. Now I'm going to tell you this. If you're in a twin flame journey, it is going to be this connection. But the only way to get to this connection will have to be when you reach the understanding that I don't want this connection because it's not making me happy. I am suffering. So we come to that conclusion. We allow ourselves to move forward. It's imbalance for me because my energy is imbalanced. I have to find my own balance. So I examine everything. So I feel like there's a need to completely remove self from this energetic connection. If you're in with this person, which I doubt, remove yourself. And if you did that, good. Okay, good. You did that. But we have to look at our reasoning. We're not removing ourselves because we're mad and now they can't have access to me. Ha ha ha, look at them. Tit for tat, I'll show them. They ruined a good thing here. No, it's I'm removing myself saying, hey, I truly want to be able to forgive this person and be the best person I can be so I can find peace and healing. And I know if this person's unhealed and I'm unhealed, it's causing chaos. So I have to let this person sort of be without judging them. I'm not saying that they were the wrong ones. So I can be. And if this means me just not, constantly checking on their social media, I do my best to do this, every day, maybe getting better and better here. But There has to be some movement in this direction of accountability and our own sort of involvement here. Okay, so if we say, well, that's great because I already blocked them, it's like we need to look at our intention of why this person got blocked and why we left, and start from that root. Okay, and so if we have to go make amends, which some of us do because it's all that resentment, it's going back to this person, okay, only if you want, but this is coming through, and saying, I'm sorry. Now, of course, only if you feel sorry, and this is the whole point of it. I'm sorry that you felt you could do this, that, and the other to me. I see your suffering. I see what you've done. It is beneath you, and although it's hurt me, I am sorry, but I see you as a child of God here. And so in the past, I was mad, I was upset, I blocked you, I said some things, and although I felt it in the moment, I no longer want to carry that. I no longer want to be mad at you. I forgive you. I forgive you, person, for doing those things to me. That doesn't mean that I want to be with you or want those things again in this state because you're unhealed. But what this means is I don't want to carry an anger or carry the thought that you were in the wrong and I was in the right. Because there is no wrong or right. There's just experience and there's just perfection in God's universe. And so you did exactly as you were supposed to do to learn exactly what you were supposed to do. And so although we couldn't come together, I have to go find within myself healing. And so you've shown to me, thank you, this mirror of what I don't want. And what I need to find is peace. And so thank you. Okay, now we don't have to use all those words, but when our energy mirrors this, we're finding some liberation. If we're starting to feel this way, we're finding liberation. Okay, some of you guys might not want to go outright to say this to this person, and that is fine. Again, don't do what tarot readers are telling you, but this is the energy in which this is coming through so that you know. Once we're in that higher state of understanding, we know we're ascending, we know we're opening the heart space, we know there's forgiveness, we know we're not in duality, we know that we're seeing everyone from pure eyes of God. And so this person didn't want to work with you, they didn't want to work with you, and it's unworkable. And it's unworkable here because of both of you, not just this person. Because if this person was exactly the way they are, in the 8 billion people in the world, I'm sure they could find somebody that would work with them in some way. So it takes two. It takes two, okay? Because if we're just silent observers, of course we'd get along and someone could just do whatever they do. Although we're not just silent observers, we also have needs and desires and all this stuff. But if we really look at it this way, our own self can get in the way of another. Okay, our own perception. So we're coming into enlightenment. We're coming to see certain things we didn't understand, which is about self. And when we see these things about self, it starts providing clarity around the whole situation. It starts to make us feel enlightened. It starts to make us feel happier and better. It provides clarity around someone else. It provides clarity around the whole situation. And we start to see truth here. And we might say, okay, like now that I could see better, I don't want to keep going in the direction that I was going. I really need to examine now, what direction I want to go in. And so I feel like there's an energy here of you stopping, like this is pretty much retreating, stopping, no longer pursuing energetically, like completely. Okay, so it's almost like a surrendering here because it no longer interests you, see the truth. This person, how they really are, how they really are. And so the magnetic pole is sort of depolarized here. And it doesn't mean we start to judge them and get, and start to not like them. It means we actually like them more, but through the eyes of a healed person that can say, because I love you, because I love you, regardless of who this person really is. And this is how we should sort of connect with all of humanity. Because I love you, because I have love for self, I can now see the beauty in the clarity I'm having in what actually aligns for me and what does not because of this experience. And so I start to move forward in my life in the right direction and then divine timing starts to happen, because right now we're forcing a scenario or a situation or energy to go in a certain way that is imbalanced with resentments and egos and division and duality, rather than oneness. And the oneness really is an inner understanding here that this person is connected to me. And so when I think this person is out there doing bad things, I'm thinking of this about me. Because what you see in others is just you projecting. Always. Okay, so now we go to self. So we have the Page of Pentacles and the World in reverse. So this is really, or sorry, page, Knight of Pentacles and the World in reverse with the universe. So I think your heart is in a good place, you know, and I always deliver this message quite passionately here, because I think we're still trying to work on seeing this, and I could do a better job, you know, and being very gentle with you and explain this, and there is a way to do this, but I am still working on how to deliver this message, you know, because I feel I want to give to you what you want. But the only way for you to get what you want is to going through this. And then you get what you want here. But I feel like it has to close out here. You know, there was a lesson here, and I feel like I'm seeing devil here. You know, and the devil is the thing that we created. And as long as we keep thinking the devil's out there and that it's someone else, and that the shackles of our unhappiness are due to circumstance, it keeps us stuck. So I feel we'll close this out so we can actually attain what we want here. So I feel like there's going to have to be a dedication, dedication here to your healing, to overcome this, to understand this, you know. And sometimes we feel stuck, or we might slip back in our old thoughts and check on the social media or whatever. Look at that. Justice, or Hierophant and Justice in reverse. So the Temperance, the imbalance here. You know, it's like, what do we commit to? This is like a higher level of understanding here. Spiritual understanding, enlightenment here, of a belief system, of how maybe we were brought up, you know, or culturally, socially, we're told how to engage with other people in this way. You know, people need to do this and that, and then that's a healthy relationship. But it's like, no, people don't need to do anything. A healthy relationship is one that you have with self. And so I feel like you want to attain something. We're going to close out this cycle of belief system structure that's imbalanced. It's the outside world needing to adjust to me, not me adjusting to my world here. And so I feel like what happens is things start to move. We start to have breakthroughs. We start to see the joy again. You know, things start to move. And if things are really stuck in this twin flame connection, it moves for the better. Divine timing says, hey, guess what? You learned the thing here. Yay, let's move. Let's have a breakthrough. You now can have, you know, forward progress. And so hopes and fears with the Ace of Swords and the Tower, this is when we see a greater truth. The illusion crumbles. The devil no longer has the hold. And we're left with having to sort through what is true, to actually see it for the first time and be honest with self. What's my accountability? How have I been seeing it? Have I been living from a heart space here? Have I been mostly an ego? Have I seen them versus me? What they did versus what I do? This is what needs to fall apart. And so it's the Tower is never really a pleasant experience, but the joy of the Tower falling is we're left with a great truth. So now we can see, and now we can have movement. Okay, but I feel like it's going to be up and down, and it's going to require a lot of commitment to this growth. And I feel like sometimes we're going to be down and back in ego, and our mind gets in there and starts to give us a narration, and we feed it energetically, emotionally, and then we start to suffer, and then we're like, shit, I'm back here again. And then we start to believe in what this reading is saying. Our heart opens up again, we get aligned with spirit, and we feel empowered and enlightened. And then again down, and then again up. And I feel like it's going to be up and down, because I feel like we're still on the hold of the devil, and we're shedding ego, and the tower's falling bit by bit. But if you resonate with this energy, then Spirit is saying, allow yourself the forgiveness of the ups and downs, but be very conscious of your energy when you're feeding the suffering, the thought that makes you feel bad, the thought that is driving action that is towards the negative polarity. Okay, does this thought lean towards the positive polarity, love, unity consciousness, or is this thought and this emotion leaning towards the negative polarity? Them versus me, victim versus the victimizer. Okay, so the thought comes, and we don't need to control the thought, but we can know where our energy is being fed into that thought. And so we keep qualifying that thought. Is this real? Is this aligned with my heart consciousness? Okay, not does my mind want to put a story around why it's real, because the mind will do that. The ego finds the back door in to try to convince us, and then we're back in suffering. So anytime our energy is feeling suffering, fear, lack, a need for control, then we know we had an impure thought, a thought that the ego got in there that is untrue, that we're feeding energetically. And so we need to qualify that thought as it comes through. And if it's not an honest thought, not leaned into love, positive energy, then see you later thought. Thanks for coming. And every time it comes, say, I've seen you before. Thank you for, caring about my concern, but I know it's a fake thought. I don't need to feed it. I don't need to make up a story. I don't need to prop it up. Okay, so it's going to be that. And when we're finally up, down, and turbulent, and we're only left with truth, I feel then we have movement here in this, and the divine can now work with us because we've done the work. That's the healing that this journey is putting you on. The healing of ascension, of opening your heart space, of seeing other people as yourself. But right now it's stuck. Okay, pile number 3. This was your reading. I love you so much. I can't see anything about the other person here, aside from the fact that they are not showing up and that they lied most likely, and that there's a history here with this person. That's all I really see, and that's all I really delivered. Okay, so I hope this helps you. Actually, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting because it is so long. I want to give you advice. I mean, this is full of advice, but these cards are going to help us to what we need to sort of hear. That's going to provide more insight here, because this isn't easy and it's very difficult to navigate. And maybe this is why I've been like kind of posting so much. Like, obviously I'm always going to get the ones who are not liking what I'm delivering, but for those of you guys, I feel I need this constant sort of reminder, because the up down, the mind gets in there. You watch this video, you're like, yeah, it makes sense, and then all of a sudden we're back in separation consciousness, feeling bad, feeling sad, feeling detached, feeling separated. So dance to the rhythm of life. Today, I find the joy in my heart. I lighten my life by releasing what I no longer need. I align myself with who I am and gently acknowledge who I am not. I am grateful for what I possess, and I am at peace with what I do not possess. I appreciate and accept my life as it is. I live according to the will of God. In this way, I dance with life and see the magic of love bloom. Beautiful. Consciousness, yes, beautiful. Today, I pay attention to every thought, yes, and feeling that I manifest. My outer world reflects my inner consciousness. I pour the light of my awareness on my most constructive thoughts, so they will grow and produce the experiences that I want. Mindful of what I create in this universe, I become an expression of divine light. Exactly this. So I won't repeat myself, but it would be very conscious of your thoughts, because we got to feed it with something or not. Peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. No one can rock your peace. Love. Love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. So this is love of all. And what is love? Love is how we are of service to others. Love is the language of God. Love is God. And so Love isn't selective. Love doesn't make victim. Love doesn't judge. Okay? True unconditional love. A child's love. Look at that. Unconditional love. A love between a parent and a child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during our time on earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first cries, they establish themselves as the bigger part of our hearts. So I feel this person did you dirty in some way. Okay? Again, but I feel like why this comes through is like, if our child does anything wrong, generally speaking, okay, unless of course you're the parent here who, I don't know, who's like a psychopath, we can't see wrongs in our child's doings. We always see the child as an extension of us. This is how we're supposed to see all of God's children, as an extension of God. You know, and so this person's done whatever. I feel like we're supposed to extend the extension of God, the eyes of compassion, on this person, because this is God's will, and this is unconditional love. This is innocent love. This is being very compassionate here, okay? Because this person was acting beneath themselves, maybe immature, or just in the shadow. But we are the parent, because we know of unconditional love. We connect with the divine. We know what God will is, and God's universe is perfect, okay? So this is what I have. Beautiful pile 3. I love you so much, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello. Beautiful pile number 4. You guys picked the tarot cards from the purple pack, and we're looking at this twin flame connection and what exactly is sort of going on here in this journey. So if you don't resonate with that label per se, you probably wouldn't be here, but if you clicked on here, you might just resonate as a deep soul connection with you and this person. And I will be referring to it as a twin flame, but if you're not even sure, then chances are you're here for a very specific reason. You've connected on a soul level, and if this resonates for you, then it could certainly be about the connection you're in. And so I do ask you to use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear, to determine whether this messaging is right for you. I will pull the oracles and take a look. This could be your energy, your person's energy, or the connection. It's up to you to determine whether it resonates. If it doesn't, then this most likely isn't your reading, and then we'll do the Celtic cross looking at the current situation. What we've been getting for all the piles so far is one energy, kind of where that person is at. So it could be you, it could be your person, crisscross. This could be blended. I don't know what we're going to see. I'm always as surprised as you. And then hopefully I don't forget, we'll end with some advice. Although we get advice throughout the whole thing. Okay, so let's tap into this energy and see if this is your pile. So we have Hilarion with the divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Beautiful. Green Array, which is all about heart consciousness. Opening the heart. Unconditional love. I'll come back for you. Okay. Clock. Need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, and progress. Interesting, because we have healing here. I'll come back for you, kind of is indicating this little pause. The electric 5-5, creative expression. And we have 8-8, speak your truth, express yourself. Wowzers. If you guys hear noises, this is my son. He plays video games and he yells at the screen or laughs or growls. Okay, so surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open. Soar. Did I say store? Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Creative expression. Express yourself. Speak your truth. Wow. Okay. Dilettante. Light attributes. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Shadow attribute. Pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually have. Okay, wow. Let's hear about creativity. We'll probably see the Queen of Cups. A lot of creative energy. Childhood. And we have friendship, friends, acquaintances, and networking. And we have Pluto with 64. Oh my tiddly tie. This is crazy energy. So we have the number 10. 10 is all about transformation. It's also Wheel of Fortune, destiny, divine timing, divine guidance, letting divine sort of take the wheel. Pluto is Scorpio energy, and Pluto is all about the shadow integration, shadow self. I want to read Pluto here because it seems very intense. And then we'll flip your last card, and then I'll do the channeling. Pluto. So this card has only one aspect as Pluto, as such, has such a long cycle. Okay, so in primitive energy, you are consumed by negative intentions and destructive plans. Wow. Adaptive energy, you have learned the great art of telling truth to power. You also know how to stand resolute in core values. And then evolving, you have experienced great suffering and have risen from this pain to show people a path of unlimited strength in character and convictions. Holy camole. Okay. This is definitely the energy that's been pulled through with these cards here. And then we have multidimensionality with number 30. The frequency of multidimensionality activates our awareness of our true essence, which is eternal and multidimensional. Okay, you guys, I feel this could be your energy. Okay, so it's interesting how these readings came out, but you determine who is who. But this twin flame journey, as we know, is all about self. And so I only feel one energy here, although I do feel a little bit of the connection. I feel like there might be a pause, a much needed pause here. Okay, or at least you're not fully connected with this person. There's a reason for this. Okay, and this is because you're called to a greater purpose. And the great purpose is the healing that you do when you're apart from this person. To come back to whatever sort of progress you're making in something here that is your purpose in this world. For a lot of you guys, it's a creative pursuit in which allows you to help others in acts of service. And so I feel like when we are on the road to helping others, we heal. And so I feel like there's a stage here of you doing a lot of healing right now by whatever you're doing aside from this connection that is meant for you to push forward at this time, or that has been going on at this time. I feel in this connection, you might have had to be honest with yourself, or with this person in whichever way. But I feel this honest truth was something here that might have, I don't know, been some sort of revelation here in this connection in some way. Maybe it was difficult for you to speak an honest truth to this person, or to come into terms with some honest truth about this connection to yourself, so that you could break some sort of illusion, or at least just honor yourself. So I feel like there's been a lot of healing already done, specifically when it comes to childhood traumas, beliefs that kept us stuck. And I feel like we're really tapping into our heart consciousness here, which is unconditional love of self and aligning with everyone and everything, so we can ascend here. But I feel like you're aligning with your soul tribe, and your purpose is coming into focus. And if you've been aligned to an improper, let's say, career, you're now aligning with the proper career. If, let's say, your passion and pursuits were put on hold, you're now focusing more on that. You're now devoting yourself to the thing here that I feel is your main sort of goal purpose. Because again, in the twin flame journey, there is something within you that you're bringing to this world that is healing. Healing humanity. You just being yourself is healing to humanity. It raises the vibration. You doing what you love, even if it's just whatever, providing paintings, readings, gardening, whatever your joy is. You and your joy is aligning others to their joy. And so I feel like you're seeing and connecting with your joy more and more. I feel like the separation with this person is making you more leaned into what is true in your world here. So we're now seeing things about ourselves and what we want to do and be and engage clearer. And I feel like your creativity is at an all-time high. I feel like you understand that maybe now's not the right time for you and this person, or that the timing hasn't worked. And so as this person is doing whatever they're doing because it's not working or it just isn't aligned right now, you're using your energy in a constructive way to love others, to be loved, to lean into joy, to allow yourself to express, to keep reflecting on your everyday catalysts, which trigger ego, and looking at ourselves and clearing those shadows and those blocks and those traumas, doing the shadow work, being consistently aware and observant about how we're engaged in the world. How are we perceiving the world? So I think you're living your best in the present moment. You're reflecting to yourself certain truths. You're seeing yourself and what you've healed. You're witnessing your own transformation. You're forgiving yourself for things that might have been stuck. I'm reading this as it's you because I do feel it is you. And so there's an understanding that you and this person will eventually, some other time, some other place, some other planet, come together. You don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know whatever. All you know is that there is some connection here that is divinely being guided or that's triggered this. And so we accept that there's a cycle. We accept that we need to heal. We accept that we're sort of focused on this. And so I feel like we've gone through a lot of suffering. A lot. Okay, I feel like the suffering here was in doing the shadow work, was in maybe through this connection and how it's made us feel about self and what we've seen in ourselves, what we experience in this connection has made us see certain things about self that have been difficult to overcome or to work with or transcend, to integrate. And so now we realize that there's so much here. There's this connection, but there's also so much more, like the love of our creation and other people and what we can contribute to the world, that it goes beyond just a connection here. And that we can pour into this sort of energetic giving back to humanity, and that it only sort of comes back to us. And so I love this energy because this feels like a very ascended energy, you know, and I don't always like to use the word enlightened because there is no such thing as being enlightened. We're always on the path of enlightenment, you know, and I feel like you're on the path of enlightenment. And so when we're aware and we're present and we just be, we can say we're enlightened in that moment. That is the state. And so when we are in that state, we want to be very much aware that this is it. Like this is it. The being present is it. There is no end of the journey. You know, being aware, being present. We know we've reached some sort of state of enlightenment, but I feel like there is a constant sort of reflecting back to yourself. And so Spirit is coming through here with, we don't have to or need to be anywhere or be anyone. We could just be ourselves. And so if we're speaking from the heart place, the heart always knows what is best, what is true. There's no need to force anything. Okay, so I think you're kind of on this path. All right, so if this sounds like your energy or your person's, okay, then let's take a look at the tarot, and we're doing a Celtic cross to look at the twin flame connection and where it's kind of at right here, right now, because this is more of a look at the current state. And for all the other piles, we got only sort of one energy. So this might be this person's energy, you know, where they're at, or it could be where the person's at on this journey, or it could be blended. So what's the Spirit for a clear and concise message, whatever you're needing to see here in regards to this journey, the twin flame journey for pile 4. It's pile 4 needing to know right here, right now, clear and concise. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Thank you so much, Spirit. I'm so blessed to be here. And thank you so much, pile 4, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed. All right, so let's see. Covers you, what crosses you. I say you, but in this connection. Beneath you, behind you. Oh my goodness, I do feel these are kind of separate. What crowns you. Right before you. Far future. Sees self. Sees environment. Hopes and fears. Outcome. And bottom of the deck, we have 10 swords. I don't read bottom of the deck. Reverse in here, we have the 2 of wands. I was kind of feeling this energy when we saw the I'll come back for you and this speak a truth. I think you said something, or I think in this connection there was a decision made, or you did something here that you saw a truth or made an illusion fall by speaking your truth or coming to terms with something. And I feel it might have caused an ending in the connection, or now the end of that illusion. So I feel there is an ending, but the ending's a good ending, whether it feels bad or not, which I think it feels bad, because I feel there might be a separation and there was a choice, whether we could say it, do it, or which way to go, because we knew one way would create an ending, but I think it was a much needed sort of ending here, you know. All right, let's see what this is all about. So I'm going to flip them all so I can sort of tap into the energy. So we have 10 wands in reverse. Yeah, we just couldn't know more. Wow, okay. And then we have judgment in reverse. You guys, this is so intense. It's judgment in reverse. I'm sorry. Focus, Linda. 10 wands in reverse. Judgment in the crossing position. Ace of wands in the subconscious, so it grounds you. Okay, you, the connection. We have 7 swords in the passing and the magician in reverse. And we have 2 swords in the crowning position. Immediate death. We have... Why am I speaking funny? In the immediate future, we have death in reverse. For our future, we have Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Cease self, we have the Knight of Cups. Didn't I say we were probably going to see Queen Cups? Yes. Justice in the environment, sees environment. And then hopes and fears, we have 3 cups. And the outcome, we have the 4 of Wands and the 4 Pentacles in the reverse. And the 3 cards, I think, are mystery cards, which we'll see, because it might validate what we're pulling through or whatever's going on here. So this is really interesting. I wish I could translate to you guys what I'm feeling here, because, oh my goodness, like, where do I even begin? I feel like you, again, flip-flop the energy if you can, but I'm getting the connection here. I feel like you couldn't carry something in this connection anymore. And so something was weighing on you, and it was a great truth. And the great truth was for you to take action on something, which I think would cause there to be a separation, or at least you knew that if you were to act in line with what was right, what was true, which you couldn't carry no more, that would result in you being parted from this person potentially. I feel like there was an in denial or a not seeing of something because you wanted to believe in something, or to be aligned maybe with this person, or just to trust something else. But I feel it was either unclear to you, you know, or you were living in some sort of in denial or not seeing where this was going. And so kind of partaking, there was something here that I feel wasn't aligned with truth. you know, and this person I feel like wasn't being very forthright here, but I feel neither were you in living either in their illusion, you know, or this person could have been more self-focused, or you could have been propping this person's illusion, you know, like I feel like this connection wasn't manifesting or taking place, like happening, like nothing was happening here, because I feel like this person could have certainly been selfish and self-focused and in their own sort of world of, I'm not going to open up or be clear or give to pile 4 maybe something that would solidify or align with the truth or take action, you know, for whatever their reasoning being, whether it be because they're just a selfish person, inconsiderate, or just suspicious, you know, so they didn't want to let you in. But I feel like the untruth here was both sides, because I feel like we were not wanting to take action or accept some great truth, and we just couldn't no more. Okay, we just couldn't no more in this energy. So I think you said something or did something or put an end to something here. So in the immediate future here, I see there's transformation happening, but in order for transformation to fully fall away, there needs to be sort of a complete acceptance and non-resistance. And so I feel like there's still some things that are being ironed out here in this transformation that aren't quite resolved, can't quite fall off just yet, because there might be more lessons, there might be more time needed. For whatever the reason, there's things that need to shift in order for there to be a massive transformation, and I feel in this connection. But both people might have more shedding to do, you know, might have more spiritual work to do. And I feel like this person that I was tapped into, your energy, the spiritual work here is this creative thing. You know, like if all of a sudden this aligned up, this person might never reach this, you know, I feel this person focuses on their creativity in order to pull out or pull away from this connection. And so this creative contribution needs to be seen to the world. And I do feel it is supporting, you know, healing to other people as well. And it's giving love. And so I feel like this is still sort of in its infancy stage, or it's something that still needs to keep going. It's a spiritual enlightenment in some way. So I feel like it's not just time just yet until we shed all the things here that need to shed. So for future, we have Page of Wands and this Queen Cups, which is, again, this person. I feel this person is really being called to pursue their creative pursuits. I feel this person's highly creative, very intuitive, very compassionate. And so this is stemming from a heart space of love to extend to everything and everyone here, and to explore as a child would. And this child is giving me this innocent love, this in the moment, being present with our creativity, being present with our love and our compassion. And this is reaching, like I said, an enlightened sort of state, but it's walking the journey of enlightenment, you know, and really connecting with this. So I feel this person that I'm tapped into has to find love, give themselves love, connect to love, express love however they can. And this, I feel, is coming from this person in expressing their love, their creative pursuit, giving to the world, showing up from a heart space. Okay? And I feel like what this does is bring balance. Karmas gets balanced, brings justice in this connection, brings union, brings balance towards this coupling. Okay? And I feel it's going to even energies in a way that will bring justice to this person, who I feel has been sort of, you know, I don't know, whatever action they took here to lean into a greater truth of acceptance and awareness, because they couldn't live in the uncertainty or the lie or the denial, is what's restoring balance and justice here. And so I feel like there is going to be a reconciliation, a coming together. I feel like this person I'm tapped into wants it. I feel like the other person wants reconciliation as well. Although I feel like this person, you know, has been, I feel this is the other person here, has been maybe needing to be apart from this person in order to shed whatever needs to transform here, you know, and recognizing this love is sort of closed off, you know, that this person chose to go give love elsewhere. And so the person, sorry, I know I keep saying the person, I feel like there's divine masculine, although it doesn't have to be male. Okay, divine masculine who might have been closed off, who might have not have been supportive of the connection, who might need more shedding and transformation. And I feel like divine feminine, who also is working on spiritual transformation, has no choice but to embrace some sort of truth and honesty, which has been difficult. And so she's been focusing on this creative pursuit. And so I feel like both masculine, feminine energies, divine partners here are wanting to come together. And I do feel they will come together when the time is right for there to be another interval. So outcome shows a release of something here, wherever it was stuck. So if divine masculine was hanging on to something, there's a release here. You know, this is not being totally in a lack mindset, not being too held back or hanging on to something because we fear that if we let go and let God, that it will disappear forever in some way. And so this is all about us surrendering to the universe, and this brings about balance. Four Wands is my 1111, which is twin flames. This is union, marriage coming together. I'm getting a lot of balance pulling through here, balance even. Okay, and balance. And in order to gain the balance, there has to be sort of trusting the universe, letting go of what we can, surrendering, giving unconditional love, being of service, pouring into whatever our authentic creative thing is here, you know, coming into contact with like-minded people and support here so that we can heal together, you know, and raise the vibration here of Earth. And so I feel like this person is going to be not very certain what the future holds here at all with this Two Swords. Like, I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure if what's going on with this person. I'm not sure how to even take action with this person, you know. And so I feel like I can't do anything except for what I'm being called to do. And so I feel very stuck. I've reached sort of a stalemate here. I can't do anything. I've said everything I can. And so I kind of leave it where it's at, and I leave it in God's hands. And so when this person reaches this state of surrendering and leaving it, then the divine masculine here has no choice but to recognize a love that's pulled here, a spiritual transformation that's needing to take place in order for them to come find this divine feminine who's just off doing her own thing, restoring balance, healing, you know, healing conscious energies here from traumas, bringing balance. So let's see. We have Five Pentacles, being out in the cold, the Ace of Cups, emotional new beginning, and the Fool in reverse. So what this is saying to me is I feel things are down and out right now in this connection. Okay, when it comes to the connection, I feel like the divine feminine is leaning into this creative thing, which I feel is her own new beginning of giving love. But I feel with the Ace of Cups, it's like I can only sort of focus on myself. I can only give from my overflowing cup to where I feel I'm being, you know, authentic to. I can't give from an overflowing cup to where I feel like maybe there's lies, or where there's people who are selfish, or maybe where I'm not being honest with something. So I feel like once we recognize, you know, divine feminine has this new beginning, and I feel like what this does is not ever sort of repeat the same sort of I don't know, like foolish energy here, because I feel there were patterns. You know, you have a new beginning. You should kind of, this is like a new beginning in relearning everything sort of again, and repeating a certain pattern again, and maybe walking into a Five Pentacles again, because I feel like there was a truth here that needed to be seen and expressed. That was, you know what, I'm not going to foolishly just blindly sort of navigate through this. You know, I'm going to lean in a different direction. I can't take action here because I keep experiencing the same thing, which is leaving me out in the cold. So I feel like there's no more in this connection just blindly sort of walking towards this wherever it's going to lead me, because I feel like divine feminine's already learned her lesson here. It's only led to Five Pentacles. So yeah, and the divine masculine wasn't working with her. They weren't creating. There was no manifestation, because in order to manifest, one, the timing has to be right, and people have to come together to create. That's not what happened. Somebody wasn't in cooperative energy, and I feel it's divine masculine here because of selfish energy, or just them in seven swords. Seven swords energy, okay? They weren't being honest with their feelings. They weren't being honest in this connection. They might have been very held back. But seven swords is not an energy of working with others. So we're going to get some advice and see. Final message, advice, guidance for the viewer. Wow, that's way too many, Spirit. Guidance, advice. So many cards here. I do feel there is one more, though, because there was a whole crap. I think Spirit really wants to hammer home these healing messages here for this group. And I do feel there is one more. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is cray. Cray. Crickety cray. Okay, what do we have? Caregiver. We are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others. Oh my goodness, you guys. Especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. I feel like there's something about definitely you being of service to others. And I feel like this unworldly sort of, when we cross over, it's like connecting with the divine. I feel there's something very healing here about your energy, you giving back to humanity. Reach out. We know you're reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help or offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that it's truly okay to accept support, however it's presented to you. I feel this energy is one that goes it alone, So if you have people in your world wanting to be there for you, wanting to give you love, then there's a need to allow, or if we need other people to sort of be there for us, to make sure we're allowing people to be there for us as well. Because I feel like you're a giver, you're a healer, and I feel like sometimes we may feel very alone here. And can relate with this energy. It's okay to receive guidance and help from others. Light. Imagine yourself as being composed of energy and light, because in reality, that's precisely what you are. You are a powerful being, and people are attracted to your brilliance. This is a time to remember how vibrant you truly are. Beautiful. I feel you're connecting to your light, because again, I feel I'm reading for Divine Feminine. Being true. Yes, remember that self-true expression. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. What did we say? We spoke some truth here, and we decided to move in that direction, which created this end of the illusion. Even though it might have created an ending in this connection, the illusion now is no longer there. We're no longer supporting it. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with power of love and truth. And I also feel like, because there's mirroring here, Divine Masculine was wearing some sort of mask, because Seven Swords is certainly a mask, and I feel there's a mirror held up here. Okay, and so I feel like both parties, although masks very different, and Divine Feminine's mask was maybe one of trying to, do something here that was suppressing or not accepting something, like her true beauty, or that she deserves better. That's a mask in God's hands. Yes, my trust in life is implicit in God's greater knowing and greatest love. Guide my heart and choices. My faith is steady, and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. God wins. Yes, beautiful. Here and now. Present, yes. The future does not exist, and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in my life again, because here, now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. Interesting, because I had this energy come through this morning, exactly like this. There is no danger here and now, because it just came through me, like there is no danger in the here and now, and it was a beautiful feeling, You know, so when we're feeling panicked, or when we're feeling like we're in our mind, or there's a thought that creeps in, it's like looking at this present moment and saying, right here and right now, I'm safe and it feels good. You know, forgiveness. Today I bless each soul I perceive to have hurt me. I release them to their own greater good. I can now see that my past provides me with lessons that help me live more fully in the present. I no longer struggle with what has been said and done. I am grateful for every experience that has brought me here. I fill myself with a love that is pure and free. This is exactly what this Divine Feminine is learning, because I feel like this Divine Masculine hasn't been there again, you know, so she's had to forgive and be more focused on the present than any of what's going on here. Progress. Each day I recognize the divine within me. I progress further along my path of my spirit. Today I respect my needs, observe what happens within, and do my best to maintain a positive attitude. I have faith in my inner strengths and capabilities. I grow and improve every day. Today, God's opinion of me is the only opinion that matters. Wow. Yes, beautiful. I welcome life as it presents itself to me. Today I take each step on my path to fulfillment with good faith. I swim easily with the flow of life. I embrace all experiences the universe bestows on me, even those that may prove challenging. I know all will fall into place for my greater good. Beautiful. The stairs of ascension here to enlightenment. Remain in the light. Today I observe. I take time to think calmly and wisely, and I go forward with complete confidence, knowing I will succeed. No matter what happens today, I will remain in the light. I will maintain my faith and my equilibrium. In this way, I nurture my soul and become a strong and steady representative of the light. So, you're going to find balance, your soul people here. Okay, I feel it. And it will create union, you know, in a twin flame connection in which people need to let go of things. This is a process. And so this happens over time. We have to have faith in our own ability to be in the here and now and to release any sort of pain that we might be hanging on to when something does not work or has not worked. I feel there will be a reconciliation here if you are parted with this person, although I do feel like we're okay if it doesn't happen. You know, we're okay if it doesn't happen here. So this is where I'm at in this reading, guys. And I hope this resonated for you. And I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.